My name is Maria, and I am a 30-year-old housewife. As my husband Jack works hard, I decided to support him from home, and we have been married for 5 years now. We don't have children, but we are living a happy life together. One day, while I was doing the housework, I suddenly received a WhatsApp message from Jack. I wonder what he wants to say and see one short sentence. I love you so much. But after 5 years, this has disappeared. Therefore, I'm more surprised than happy to receive such a message. My husband sometimes expresses affection and is kind to me when he's in a good mood, but recently it has been rare. To add right now, he's at work. I wonder whether something that would cause him to act unusual has happened, but I think, well, if he's in a good mood, that's fine. And I reply, thanks, me too. Jack usually only sends about 2 responses a day, but now I see that his response is very quick.
I'm not letting you go tonight. I'm so happy you feel the same way. Natalie. Who's Natalie? I'm Maria.
Unable to understand, I freeze for a while, unable to reply. I receive another message shortly after this.
I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. It felt I want to spend my life with you. Natalie. It's a miracle that you're in my life.
My wife doesn't even work, and she stays at home as if it's her right. I should never have gotten married. You're the one who comforts me, and you're such a hard worker. You're nothing like my wife. Okay, so this isn't supposed to be addressed to me. You're cheating on me? I see. For some reason, I'm much calmer than I would have expected. I think I need to start gathering evidence while Jack still thinks he's messaging Natalie, so I decide to continue the conversation. As he has allowed me to be a housewife, I have to admit there are some times when I know I can't bite back at Jack. But his having an affair is a completely different matter. I continued texting him, pretending to be Natalie. I send him a message saying, do you really hate your wife that much?
And he replies, yeah, I do. I've never loved her even once.
Then why did you get married? It didn't have to be her, right?
For the money. And she's crazy rich.
Is she? Yup. Well, her family is. That's why I'm nurturing her as an obedient housewife. And when her parents are gone, I'm going to inherit so much and leave her. I am in shock. He was nurturing me to be obedient. Ooh, his recent attitude towards me was terrible, and I could tell that it had changed after we got married. I realized that there was no love there at all, and I'm finally starting to feel angry. I originally loved my job and always worked hard. However, Jack asked me to quit when we got married, so I left the company and became a housewife. Even so, he's saying that I stay at home as if it's my right. I never asked for this. I need to do something with this anger, so I decided to talk to a private detective to gather evidence. I changed my WhatsApp username to Natalie E and sent him another message. But once you have the money, will you be able to divorce her? Jack must be so delighted to receive messages from Natalie. He responds straight away.
Of course I will. I'm gonna say she used all my money doing nothing at home, And the inheritance will be compensation. That was all that. I'm gonna marry you, XX, sky, kiss, kiss, kiss.
I am disgusted at all the kisses, but I replied, "Do you really think it will all work out that well?" "No problem. She doesn't know that I'm cheating, and all she'll be able to do is apologize to me." "So, do you have the divorce papers ready or something?" "I actually already signed everything. There was a time when she wasn't doing the housework properly, so I signed the papers saying I would submit them if the same thing happened again." "Yes, I remember. One time, Jack thrust the divorce papers at me. Actions, it was when I was sick and had a fever, and he was furious that I hadn't been able to cook that day. The papers were framed and hanging on the wall in our bedroom. I guess they're a sort of tool to brainwash me. True, since then. I don't think I've ever cut corners with the housework, however sick I feel. I feel sorry for myself, understanding that I was acting in exactly the way that Jack wanted me to. But this means if Jack has signed everything, I can use the divorce papers whenever I want. This makes me feel much better. I have to let him know he's going to regret it if he continues to make fun of me like this. I start to get quite excited and enjoy messaging my husband, pretending to be his lover. At the same time, I realize that I have lost all the love that I had left for him. So let's get ready to send this deceiving husband to hell. Even though we've sent each other several messages, Jack doesn't seem to have noticed he was texting the wrong person. And he comes home and spends his time at home how he usually would. 6 months later, when I come home from grocery shopping, Jack is in the living room waiting for me with a sneer on his face. "Here we go," I think, and he says, "I'm done with you. I want a divorce." He looks down at me while he says this. "You're always at home, spending my money, not even doing the housework properly." I have no words and just say, "Yeah," as if I don't care what he has to say. Jack must think he's being made fun of, and he looks annoyed. "I've been patient all this time, but I wanted you to say you'd go out to work if you can't even do the chores properly." I have no idea what this man is on about, but I try not to make a funny face. To be honest, I'm trying my best not to laugh. It's mentally tough for me to be married to you. I'm actually seeing a psychiatrist, you know. He goes on and on in this incomprehensible way. Yes, please do continue seeing a doctor and maybe you can stay in the hospital. Thank you very much. I think. Wait a moment, my parents are still alive and healthy though. Does he want to get a divorce for more money? I care so little about my husband that I am calm enough to have these thoughts in my mind. You'd probably have a better life away from me anyway. I guess he just wants to say I'm the one to blame for this divorce. You weren't working at all since we got married, so all the money is mine, you understand? It seems he has said everything that he had wanted to say, so I slowly begin to talk. Okay, I understand. A divorce. But I actually have something to tell you. I won't listen even if you say you don't want a divorce, you know? I'm inheriting $3 million. My parents say they want to leave this amount to me while they're alive. Jack must be in complete shock that he stares at me, silent with his mouth hanging open. 3 million to you. That's part of my property too, right? Of course not. They're leaving it for me personally. We can, of course, use the money together if we continue our marriage.
We can, of course, use the money together if we continue our marriage. But you have nothing to do with it if we're getting a divorce. Such a shame, isn't it?
Then Jack replies with, okay, no divorce then. To be honest, I just mentioned divorce to make sure you understood the stakes. He must be crazy. It's so obvious that he only cares about the money. If he's going to change his attitude the moment I mention the $3 million, he's just so stupid.
Oh, did you? Thanks so much. But I'm afraid we're already divorced.
And Jack is so shocked that he says, huh, in a funny voice. I never knew he could make such a noise. It's the first time I'm hearing sound even after 5 years of marriage.
I've already submitted the divorce papers, the ones that you kept in the bedroom. I signed them and everything.
Hearing this, Jack goes to check on the frame in our room. Then they're gone. Where are they? As I said, I've submitted them. This man really doesn't understand a thing, does he?
You don't want to be with me. You want to be with Natalie, right?
With this, Jack is clearly panicking. I tell him about the WhatsApp conversation that we had, and it seems he hadn't realized at all, and starts checking his phone. He's turning blue. I do my best, trying not to laugh. It's difficult to say which day I had a harder time trying not to laugh, today or our relative's memorial service.
Thanks to you not realizing you'd messaged me instead, I was able to gather so much evidence. I thought you were having an affair with just Natalie, but I found out you're actually seeing so many other girls.
Jack was not only seeing Natalie, but he was in a relationship with many others too.
And one of them was a friend of mine. I found out after speaking with the detective that Jack was seeing a close friend of mine as well.
I later asked this friend if this was true, and she told me that Jack started flirting with her at our wedding. I was lost for words at this. I look at Jack and see he's trying to come up with some kind of excuse, but it's too late. There's nothing he can do. The divorce is fixed already. I've already reached out to all your lovers. I see that some of them are married. So let's see how much they'll request you to pay, shall we? With this, Jack, who is already blue in the face, turns even paler. You think I have that kind of money? This is unbelievable.
True. I've told your company too, so I guess you'll be losing even more money.
Of course. I reached out to Jack's company as well. He was having an affair with some of the girls at the office too, so they have a right to know. Well, even if you lose all your money, I guess you'll get to spend the rest of your life with at least one of those girls. So you'll be happy, won't you? At this, I left the house. I can confidently say that I have no regrets and no feelings toward Jack anymore. Later, I found out that Jack is fired. Some of his lovers were married, as I said, and he is having to pay their husbands a compensation too. He cannot make all the payments with just one job. So in addition to finding a new workplace, He's working part-time late at night. It's all his own fault, so I actually think he should be having a harder time than this as punishment. After the divorce, I returned to the company that I previously worked in. I am loving my job and working as hard as ever. However, I haven't worked in 5 years, so I think of myself as a beginner and I'm hoping to learn from my colleagues. 5 years with my ex-husband made me realize that marriage is not everything. So I hope to be able to tell the right man apart if there is a next time. But for now, I'm putting my all into my work.